Have you ever wondered why you're feeling foggy, tired, and just not as sharp as you used to be? What if we told you that certain foods in your kitchen right now could be shrinking your brain? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're revealing 5 everyday foods that Dr. Daniel Amen, after scanning 250,000 brains, discovered are literally damaging our minds. Ready to find out if your favorite snacks are on this list? The hidden danger of trans fats. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Our brain is actually 60% fat. But here's the kicker. We need to be super careful about which fats we're feeding it. Trans fats, hiding in those tempting processed snacks and fast foods, are like little time bombs for our brain. When we're munching on those seemingly innocent pretzels, we're actually consuming something that's shortening our brain's lifespan. Research shows that people consuming trans fats remember 11 fewer words than those who don't. That's our memory literally disappearing bite by bite. And it gets worse. These sneaky fats, often listed as partially hydrogenated oils on labels, don't just mess with our memory, they're also increasing our risk of heart disease and various cancers. Talk about food for thought. 2. The surprising truth about sodium. Moving on to something we all love but need to watch out for: salt. Now, we're not saying you need to eat bland food for the rest of your life. But here's the deal with sodium. Those salty snacks, crackers, and nuts we can't stop munching on, they're doing more than just making us thirsty. High sodium intake is like putting our brain in a pressure cooker. It spikes our blood pressure, which then reduces blood flow to our brain. And let's be honest, our brain needs that blood flow like a plant needs water. Recent studies have shown that excessive sodium intake can actually speed up our brain aging process and even shrink our brain volume. Plus, it's a major player in increasing our risk of dementia. Who knew that salt shaker could be such a troublemaker? 3. The real story about alcohol. Now, this might be hard to swallow, but we need to talk about alcohol. Yes, it's not technically a food, but it's causing some serious drama in our brains. Even what we might consider just a little bit of alcohol has been shown to disrupt the white matter in our brain. Think about this. Just one drink a day can increase our risk of dementia by a whopping 57%. And for those who drink heavily, it gets even scarier. It can reduce the formation of new brain cells by 58%. That's like trying to grow a garden while simultaneously pulling up the plants. The World Heart Federation is crystal clear on this one. There's no safe amount of alcohol when it comes to our health. Plus, it's linked to 7 different types of cancer. Not exactly the kind of happy hour we were hoping for. 4. The sweet deception of sugar. Here comes the real shocker. Sugar, our beloved sweet companion, has been deceiving us all along. Remember when everyone was pointing fingers at fat? Well, plot twist. Sugar was the real troublemaker. Dr. Amen calls it the white menace, and for good reason. An astounding 75% of Americans are hooked on sugar, and it's not just about the extra pounds. This sweet stuff is actually making our brains age faster and behave like they have ADHD. It's causing brain fog, memory loss, and even lowering our IQ scores. And those artificial sweeteners we thought were a smart alternative? They're just as problematic, messing with our brain structure and cranking up our anxiety and migraines. It's time to break up with this toxic relationship. 5. The processed food predicament. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about processed foods, especially those ultra-processed meats that seem to make life so convenient. These foods are like sending an inflammation party invitation to our brain, and trust us, that's not a party we want to attend. These supposedly time-saving foods are packed with artificial additives and preservatives that create chaos in our brain. The World Health Organization has even put processed meats in the same category as some seriously dangerous substances. They're labeled as Group 1 carcinogens. And the numbers don't lie. High processed meat intake can raise our risk of colorectal cancer by a frightening 42%. Not exactly the kind of convenience we should be paying for. So, what's the bottom line here, friends? We're not trying to panic anyone, but knowledge is power, right? By understanding how these 5 foods affect our brain and body, we can make better choices for our health. The good news is that our brain is incredibly resilient, like a superhero that can bounce back from almost anything. When we start cutting out these harmful foods, many people notice sharper thinking, better memory, and improve concentration in just a few weeks. Remember, every bite we take is either fighting disease or feeding it. It's never too late to start making better choices for our brain and body. Thanks for sticking with us through this eye-opening journey. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more health insights that could literally change your life.